Hello, hello.
All the glory belongs to you.
So this is Marvin and Garlinda, and we're back. Just kidding. Y'all, we're going to turn off auto face detection. That is way too much zooming our face in and out. But y'all know me. Everybody has to have some theme music, so let's turn it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All the glory belongs to you.
All the glory belongs to you.
Oh, God.
I really got down, okay.
Okay, so let me cut that off. But that's Mali music, and that's Yahweh, in case you ask us. Well, hold on, this is my part. No. This ain't my part. What's taking so long? Okay, so we're here to talk about journey, anger management with spiritual principles. And we're going to introduce Marvin. I'm going to go and cut that off. All at once. This is my part. He's taking too long. Okay, y'all. Okay, so we're here to talk about journey, anger management with spiritual principles. I'm here with my lamb chop. He knows who he is.
Oh, no.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know about that.
Pastor Marvin Price Jr. Woo! Have to be your background.
Okay.
Like if we had a real radio station, then we would have like the clapping in the background and we could push up to make people cheer and all that stuff, but this is it. Oh, and y'all, he said that cheerleading was not a sport.
It's not.
Y'all don't start sending them ugly messages on Facebook, those of you that were cheerleaders. However, right now, all he has is a cheerleader, so I'm sure he thinks it's a sport right now.
Right.
So we're going to talk about today the drama triangle.
The drama triangle.
And some people know all about that.
Yeah.
Just straight drama.
Straight drama. Straight drama.
I am very drama free. If you and he's drama free.
I try to
like,
avoid it when I can.
his family doesn't call him, because if they call and they call him with some drama or some mess, Lord, I feel so sorry for him. They get their feelings hurt every time. They get hit across the head with the word.
Yo.
They get analyzed from his degree in psychology.
No.
They get hit in the head with journey anger management.
No.
Oh Lord, I feel sorry for him. And then he say, "But you know I love you." Oh, so anyway.
It's all out of love.
But God said that He loves those whom He can correct, and those He cannot
Well,
are wayward.
okay.
I was trying to clean up the words.
I lost myself for a second. I don't know what's going on.
So, tell them what we're going to talk about today.
Well, this is actually not a part of Journey, but it has some elements in it. It's called the Cartman's Drama Triangle. It's actually a drama triangle, and it's typically used in the workplace environment, like workplace violence and so on. But it can be applied to basically any and everything. So we're going to talk about the Cartman's drama triangle and how it relates to us.
Okay. Us, like?
Us. People.
You mean,
drama.
I'm like, we don't have
Overall.
drama. Yo, we don't have drama, because when I'm mad, I say I'm mad. When I'm happy, I say I'm happy.
Hey, that's called openness. That's called being direct, right?
He doesn't live with a moody girl. It's like, I'm going to split your skull, and then, oh, honey, I love you. Sweet. Just go and tell the truth about it.
That's funny.
So, go ahead.
So, what it is, the drama triangle, the Cartman's drama triangle.
I'm going to see if I can hold it up to the screen. I know it might not be,
I didn't
might not be able to see it well, but what we're going to do is we're going to upload it as a link on his page, and then if you want us to send it to you, we can message it to you, or you give us your email and we'll share it.
Yeah, it's called the Cartman's Drama Triangle.
And it's going to be
and I make my notes
backwards and in reverse.
Right, I don't know
because we're online.
Yeah,
but we can send it to you and we'll post it where you can see it on his Facebook
all right,
page.
so I'm going to put my glasses on real quick. She doesn't like me with my glasses on, but I have to see, right?
Let me see where we can go to and journey about.
All right. So
choices made out of anger.
Let me explain it real briefly. The Cartman drama triangle. Of course, if you can imagine or visualize what a triangle is, I call it the avoiding the Bermuda Triangle. Very similar. You want to avoid this triangle in your life. I think most families, most people, somehow get involved in a drama triangle. With there's actually three people involved.
Okay.
So you have what is called the perpetrator, or the bad guy.
The one that thinks they didn't do anything wrong.
Typically looking the power person, the one that likes to have control, likes to be in power. You have the rescuer, that's the enabler, the person who is always
gonna save
who's
everybody.
always trying to save everybody. Can't save a soul, but trying to save everybody. And then you have the victim, of course, and the victim is the one that always appears to be powerless,
always
always
happens to
helpless,
be,
the innocent person.
yeah.
And I think we know all. If you can relate to this triangle and the three. Things within it, the characters within it, I'm pretty sure you're probably thinking right now, well, hey, wait a minute, I know people like that, or I'm actually involved in that kind of triangle.
Or is that my family?
Right, well, I know, hey, shoot,
Right.
I'm real with my family. I love my family, but we all have.
Just in case they're on Facebook, keep going.
I mean, there's no perfect family.
No, it is not.
There's simply no perfect family, and so, but we have to all deal with certain areas, the elements within our family. So, and it's not just about family. Your workplace, in church. There's drama triangle taking place in church. Relationships. You always have victims in church.
Yeah.
You always have those who are domineering and overbearing, dogmatic. So that could be the perpetrator in most cases. And then you have the one that's in the middle, the rescuer, the one that try to saves and smooth things over and compromise and all those kinds of things. So so these are the elements of what the drama triangle is all about. And so how does it relate to our discussion today? So I asked Garlinda to make this video because I made one with her last time.
He asked me because he knows that cheerleaders know how to get things done.
And so I want to be very brief. It's not something that's typically talked about or discussed in your home setting or so on. Even in school, our children, even your children, may be involved in some type of triangulation when it comes to peer relations in school, teachers, principals, friendships. Our children can sometimes be involved in these kinds of things as well. So it's kind of an awareness process, being aware. But to be aware, you have to know what role the person's playing. And so it's really important for us to identify which role we're playing. That I'm taking part in. If you find yourself within this type of triangle.
So this will help people be able to identify if they're in the triangle. So how would they know? How would you know if you say, well, I'm not a dramatic person or I don't get involved in drama? How would you know if you were in the drama triangle?
Well, when you're uncomfortable. I think that when people are experiencing some form of uncomfortability, where they dread going to work, or they dread going to your home,
or they dread talking to somebody, whether that person is in their family or whether or not that person is like their family member, or if they're in the relationship with that person. So avoidance, and that's a big thing. Most people believe that if I avoid it, I'd have a problem with it. Wouldn't that be good if you could just avoid people and just go away? But
and oftentimes it's not that easy, and it's not that simple. I heard it say, we're all here to say it's easier said than done, right? But it has to, and my response to that, but it has to be said.
Right.
You have to identify what your role is, and through identification, you can then learn skills and tools on how to avoid it the right way, and live a healthier life.
So I think you said that the drama triangle doesn't relate to Journey, or isn't by Journey.
It's not by Journey. It's universal.
But in Journey,
tool.
It talks about one of the objections is identifying anger and then choosing to remain angry, and then who's in control. When you're in the drama triangle, you're still trying to figure out. Sometimes people figure out who's in control.
Right.
Like this, then they may not like that person's trying to control them or manipulate them.
Oh yeah.
And then how it talks about anger being self-inflicted, but also parts of the drama triangle, if you're the victim, can be self-inflicted.
Absolutely. There are times in which, especially the victim is always me. I'm helpless. I don't have the ability to achieve, or I don't know what I'm doing. These people are always putting pressure on me, and so on. So being a victim and creating victimization within yourself can be an issue. Which also creates an environment where you have a rescuer. In some cases, victims are manipulators.
Right.
They want the attention. They desire to have attention on them, and so therefore they may have a hidden agenda. Sometimes there's reasons behind being the victim. And that can fall into the.
So it's a form of manipulation.
Manipulation and control. I can control you if I'm the victim all the time.
Right.
I will get your pity. I will get your whatever it is I'm looking for out of you if I'm viewed as the victim all the time.
So we're talking about what's the triangle called again?
It's called the Cartman.
Cartman drama triangle. So I just wanted to relate it back to Journey though. So like on page 17, it talks about silently, combatively, and passively, like ways to manage anger. So a lot of times people will become quiet.
Oh yeah.
So you describe in here that how does one person choose to manage their anger? So the rescuer could be, the enabler could be the quiet one, or it could be the victim. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, in most cases, it could be either one.
Okay.
Even the perpetrator can be the quiet one.
Because maybe they're using their
Silence
as control.
Absolutely.
So it says that many people hesitate to admit their own anger, never wanting to appear worried or upset, so they maintain an image of never having problems associated with anger. This type of person usually puts on a good front and pretends to feel no tension at all. And I've never had a problem with anger. That's not me saying that. That's the book saying that about the silent person.
Yeah.
So you can see that in one of the characters, the perpetrator, the victim, or the rescuer.
Right.
Then you mentioned combatively. So I would think that in most cases, even in the drama triangle, dealing with people, you're thinking that the perpetrator has to be angry, or in some way is displaying anger.
Right.
So you said this emotion involves preserving personal worth, needs, and morals, but includes intimidation, blame, bickering, and criticism. And in extreme cases, physical outbursts. And this type of person is ready or inclined to fight and beat the brakes off somebody. He didn't write in his book, beat the brakes off somebody. No. Next book. Often associated with this type of anger emotion, the individual is too focused on personal imperfections of others, coupled with masking their own deep personal insecurities. So wouldn't you agree that sometimes the perpetrator is the person that really has the low self-esteem or the problem, but they're making it seem like it's the victim or everybody else?
Well, in most cases, the perpetrator was the victim before.
Right.
And you find that...
So it's like bullying.
Absolutely. You find that in the workplace. You find that in your community. Even, again, workplaces can be the churches. It can be, schools, or wherever you work to earn an income. So the perpetrator, in a lot of cases, can and most likely were the victims before. And so they've placed themselves in a position of power to then dominate others. And so you find that quite often.
Well, it's funny you said dominate others, because it could be like when you're in a relationship and let's say you have that boss at work and that boss is never happy.
Right.
That boss is always coming to work like wanting to dominate control over you, but you tend to find that they had lacked control at home.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they want to come to work making you miserable.
Yeah.
Or you're in that relationship where the person is trying to dominate control over you because maybe in their family environment they didn't have control.
Right.
So or either they saw someone being controlling, so now they want to bring that to you.
Yeah.
And so then the last one is passively. It's not the last one, but it just kind of relates to the triangle. But passively, a way the person can manage anger that's in the drama triangle is like visible aggression. This type of anger does involve preserving personal worth, needs, and morals at someone else's expense. However, it's expressed oppositely. The person refuses to fly off the handle or become verbally or physically abusive. Passive aggression is caused by a need to have control with the least amount of directness. This type of person would typically sabotage the person that they are angry with in an effort to avoid having to confront them face to face. This is the type of person that annoys me the most. Because it's like that person that'll make nice, nasty comments to you. And so you're like, did they just try to
you find
insult
out,
me?
You're right. You walk away all cut up.
Or either you say something to them directly and then they send you a text about it later.
Yeah.
Or an email the length of some Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, and most people who are like that, who find themselves in that category, are the ones that tell you, well, I don't like confrontation.
Right.
But yet they find alternative ways to be confrontive or be, to address an issue.
These are the people that will call social services on you while smiling in your face.
Absolutely. Oh, you were good.
Right.
Yeah,
no, we're fine. Everything's okay. They will call your boss behind your back. Right.
Yeah, those are the ones.
So, exactly. So, let me see who the fourth and the fifth way of managing anger was. So, while we're looking at that, so why do you think that it's important to identify the drama triangle? Like, how can this show today, let's say, okay, we've identified the three characters. We've identified the characteristics of the three people. So let's say someone finds themselves in that situation or in the drama triangle. Like, how do you get out of it?
Well, the number one thing to get out of it is first identifying what your role is. What role you're playing in this triangle. And
so wait, that's a good point. So you have to look at yourself.
Absolutely.
Like I have people say to me all the time, him, her, them, they, those, not I and
Blaming.
me. Yeah.
Right. Blaming.
Because it's really hard to look at yourself and say, I suck. You know,
Yeah.
but you have to be able to self-correct. Because God is going to correct you, right? And if you hear more than one person saying the same thing to you about who you are, then you're the common denominator.
In most cases.
And so I think that it's really a growth process to say, you know, I just don't like where I am and who I am right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had to make that decision in life.
Oh, sure. I mean,
of course, he had me to tell him.
It's ongoing. I mean, it's an ongoing process. And within this triangle, each person, the rescuer, the perpetrator, and the victim is blaming someone in this triangle.
Right.
Each person is blaming someone within this triangle. And so, but the way out of it is stop the blame and accept
Be
responsibility. Right. And once you do that, I'm not blaming them for how I'm behaving. I'm not blaming them for where I am. I'm not blaming them because of my circumstances. I have played a role in my situation. The decisions I've made and things I've done, I created this. You know, and the I is really important. You know, teaching young children about how to express themselves by using I statements, I feel, you know, these kinds of things.
But you made a great point. You said, I created this. But what if they didn't create it? What if it's really not their fault, but somehow they got caught up in it and got pulled into it? But do you still think they should say, well, I still had a role in it because I participated and now flag on the play, I'm out. I want off the ride.
Well, I use an example like this. Someone tells me something, and it could be, let's call it, what do you call it when you're talking about somebody else? What is that called? Gossip. Someone gossips about someone, and you know that it's not true. But yet you don't say it's not true. You just don't say anything.
You don't defend them while they're talking.
You just don't say anything. You just let it go. Now, my role is I'm listening to you, but I'm not defending the person, nor am I saying anything about.
But you're just as guilty technically because you didn't say anything.
Right. Silence doesn't mean that you're not participating. You know, just because you choose to be quiet doesn't mean that you're not participating in the gossip.
Right.
Yeah. And so.
Well, to me, if you're listening, you are participating.
Right. Yeah.
Because
that's
you're not saying,
true.
I'm not trying to hear that. Instead, you're sitting listening to.
Right. You ain't trying to go nowhere.
Right.
So you still listening. Can I hear more? You know, but these are things that we have to learn. It's a skill, you know. And as adults, as we mature, we obtain these skills. Hopefully, we develop and grow and mature and develop skills. And so these kind of skills that we have to teach our children and our young ones in school how to manage this triangle, identify their role, or identify if they're in the drama triangle at school. You know, peer pressure. You know, who's the bully? Who's the perpetrator? Who's the victim? Are you the victim? And so on. And so it kind of carries over in all environments. But the number one way to get out of it is be responsible. Accountability.
I said accountability.
Wow.
I'm making up words like Jesse Jackson. Accountability.
Responsibility.
Okay.
Self-responsibility. Yeah.
So then, one of the things that you mentioned in your book, Journey, Anger Management with Spiritual Principles.
Yeah.
I'd make a good like Bob Barker girl, wouldn't I? Anyway,
Bob Barker,
you know, like Price is Right.
Is he still doing that?
Is he dead? I don't know. So anyway, so positively, if anger is defined as preserving personal worth, needs, and morals, then positive anger means this type of person is confident in opinion or assertion, fully assured, and considers the needs and feelings of others. This means there can be times when it's healthy to address concerns about personal worth, needs, and morals, but it should be done in a manner that keeps the door open for ongoing love. Open rebuke is better than secret love, Proverbs 27:5. So that's the person we were just talking about. Or you could become that person.
Sure.
You could be the person that positively addresses your anger or your frustration and get out of the drama triangle by saying, okay, if I was the perpetrator, I need to stop that. If I was the rescuer, time out. Y'all take care of yourself because I got to work on my own soul salvation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or if I'm the victim, okay, why am I attracting these type of people in my life if I'm the victim? I don't want that anymore. So let me self-reflect, see what corrections I can make, and then openly I'm going to come and tell you or share with you that I don't really, I'm mad or I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm discouraged, I'm disappointed. Let's talk about it. You don't have to accept it.
Right.
But that's how I'm going to positively let it go.
Right. Man, that's what you just said was perfect.
I didn't say it. You said it.
Okay. But I kind of use an analogy like this. Like I said earlier, people always say it's easier said than done, but it has to be said.
Right.
That's a positive way of managing your anger or frustration.
Well, I think you said like it's easier said than done, but that's because you don't want to do it yet.
Yeah.
Because some people don't like drama. Some people like drama.
Some people are.
They like
drama.
to have a lot of stuff going on, and just like to be in the middle of confusion and mess. But as you mature and as you grow in Christ, and as you mature and grow as an adult, you what does it say? When I was a child, I thought as a child.
Yeah.
But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Some people function in dysfunction.
Yeah, and so some people want to be there, but if you decided that you don't want to be there anymore, you don't want to be the perpetrator, which is the bad guy, or the control person. You don't want to be the rescuer, which is the...
Yeah, that's the one that's the enabler.
Okay, like the hero.
Sure.
And then the victim, I don't want to be the victim.
Right.
So that means I have to accept responsibility. I have to positively address the people, the person.
The victim is always the one, I didn't do anything.
Right.
I didn't say anything. I didn't cause this. They're the helpless one. They're the innocent one.
But again, if more than one person is telling you, then you're the common denominator.
Right, I'm just helpless.
And then, so what about the diagram where it says, what are some of the causes of this, like on the drama triangle? So in the triangle, nobody's taking responsibility, but what are some...
Well, it says time. The time-consuming aspect of it is the perpetrator. I mean, all of it's time-consuming.
Right.
If you're caught up in a drama triangle, it's a waste of good time. It's a waste of positive time, quality time. So all of this drama is actually time-consuming. You always find out that there's hidden agendas by people.
Right.
Those who are caught up in it, there's a reason why they're in it. You're not just in the drama because you like
just to be in drama.
Just to be in it. There's something you're trying to get out of it. And then there's also the causes of anger. Within the drama triangle, each person is actually experiencing some form of anger associated with this drama. It could be depression. It could be anxiety, stress.
So that's a good segue right there. So anger isn't always, like I'm mad. No. So anger could be depression.
Yeah, you have depression, loneliness causes anger. What do I say?
Low
self-esteem, rejection.
That's going to be our next call.
Oh, rejection.
Rejection. Our next show.
Okay, that's good. And rejection, all emotions that play a role or a part in anger, but it's what we do with it. It's always what we do with it. We know we have it, but what am I going to do with it?
Right.
Am I going to use it in a way that's going to be harmful towards someone else, even myself? If I keep it in, am I going to run the risk of getting ulcers? Am I going to run the risk of cancer? Run the risk of high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and things of that nature? So there's dangers to it. There's dangers attached to the anger. Only if we can identify.
There's physiological dangers as well
physiological,
as
emotional, psychological. I mean, there's all.
I know I've been married to him too long. If I'm.
I mean, but it's important for us to know. I think we don't talk about it enough. I think it's not talked about enough because I think that if we do talk about it, the risk of us people, of having to go to have medications, high blood pressure pills, all these kinds of things, we could lower that simply by understanding it,
by telling people how you feel.
Yeah, and learning how to tell,
learning how to tell them in a
the Bible says season your words with salt.
Yes.
It says still say the words.
Right.
It don't say hold the words back.
Right.
But understand how it's going to affect the other person when you do say it. Simple as that.
So the last thing, and it's not the last thing in the book, but just the last thing in managing your anger, but it's letting it go. So there are times when applying assertive anger doesn't work, and one of your options is to choose to drop your anger or let it go. And it says Matthew 5:22 stresses the importance for dropping anger.
Yeah, but I say to you, whosoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of judgment.
So if it's 20 years and you're still mad and you don't remember what you're mad about, you're in danger of judgment. Because if you don't really have a cause to be mad or a reason to be mad, you're just stirring up dissension, then you're creating sin, because you're creating you can cause people to stumble.
Yeah, and also in Journey it talks about self-created anger.
Right.
Where you you find it better for you to hold on to it than to let it go. I don't want to let it go because this is the only thing I have to hold on to.
Right.
I'm holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness and things of that nature. And since they're not doing, since they're not coming to me to apologize,
right.
I'm not going to them.
Right.
You know, I've been to them before. They didn't embrace my apology, so.
But you know, in all seriousness, the sad part about that is if you never let it go and the person dies.
Oh yeah.
And then you never get to tell them that you're sorry. They never get to tell you that they're sorry. And then you have that root of bitterness and unforgiveness, and you know, and that regret, and you can't really take it back.
The graveyard is full of people
that couldn't say sorry.
They couldn't say
Unforgiveness.
sorry. Yeah, the graveyard is full of people like that.
So we just want to thank you for joining us on our call today. And I know it was kind of long.
Wow, it was real long. 25 minutes.
Just have to say it out loud. But anyway, we appreciate you all so much for listening. Again, Marvin's book, you can purchase it on Amazon. You can purchase it at marvinpricejr.com.
Yeah.
The book is only $18. And if you would like to have Marvin come out as well and speak to the youth, to the fathers, to men's groups, it's just so important for us as the kingdom of God and within the kingdom of God to heal, to help be a part of the healing process for the kingdom of God. And so warfare is real. You know,
Absolutely.
The enemies they're moving out and they're working. So we're moving out and we're working, and we want to be a part of the healing process to the people of God. And we just thank you for joining us. God bless you, and we pray that you have a beautiful week.
Yeah, and stay out of the triangle.
Please get out the drama.
Get out of the drama triangle.
If you are the perpetrator, the rescuer, or the victim, just let it go.
Let it go.
Okay. He's still singing, "Ain't Got to My Part Yet." Okay, bye.